10 seconds. Did not enjoy.
I don't want to be embarrassed. I just want to leave the meeting.
In the second round, it was a full grill session for me.
That course was something that really got me intrigued and kind of inclined towards it.
Hello everyone, welcome to our 10th episode of NextGen Talks. Today we're going to be talking about life of interns at Intuit. I'm Ashwith, a product manager at Intuit.
Hey, I'm Partha. I'm also working as a product manager at Intuit.
So today we have Maida and Shyamal for our episode today. So folks, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience? Tell us a little bit about yourself, your college, what got you to Intuit and things like that. Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Shyamal. I'm an intern at Intuit right now, and I'm currently pursuing computer engineering from Netaji Subhash University of Technology, Delhi.
Nice.
Hi, I am Maida Iftikhar. I spent 99% of my life correcting people for mispronouncing my name. So
Yeah.
it's Maida.
Oh, yeah.
I am Maida and I'm working as a co-op intern at Intuit right now. And I am a computer science final year student at IIT Lucknow. And yeah, as Shyamal said, excited for this podcast.
Awesome. So just tell a little bit more about yourselves. What do you do apart from work? Like what are your interests?
I have a keen interest in space research. I spend some time researching about what actually happens in the space and about black holes, wormholes, different things.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I love playing table tennis. I love playing chess, and I love hanging out with my friends and just going on random trips. I'm a big time mountain person.
Yeah.
So, one question, did you want to be an astronaut?
I wanted to be a space researcher from ISRO, but
Okay.
Interesting. So is Interstellar like one of your favorite films?
yeah, Interstellar, of course. That was one reason why when I started developing this interest in the space research.
Nice. And what about yourself?
Okay, this was not planned, but this is
Yeah.
exactly what I love.
Yeah.
I am a
Oh.
big space enthusiast,
Yeah?
as he said. I
Wonderful.
wanted to be a space researcher. Also, my reason for being in tech is not actually exclusively tech. I googled up what are the engineering branches closest to space science,
Right.
and computer science most consistently showed up, and that's why I'm here. So, apart from the work, what I love to do is read. I love reading.
Yeah.
I was in class 7th when I read classic literature books, Wuthering Heights, God of Small Things, and all of them in 7th grade. I didn't understand much, but yeah, I love reading. Yeah.
Awesome. So what got you folks into software engineering? I know you kind of touched upon it a bit, but in general, like, what about you? What got you into like software development engineering?
So when I was in 11th class, I got an option of choosing an optional subject, and I chose computer science because like a lot of people choose so, right? But then also I didn't think about becoming a software engineer only. So when I was in 11th, I was given a task once by my professor at that time of computer science that you have to code for us. Basically, when a rocket in the rocket propulsion, there is a time when fairy separation happens. Basically, the body of the rocket gets dismantled and a lot of parts need to be left out. So he gave me a task that after reaching this certain height, you have to enable that fairy separation process, and I had to code for it. And I started coding for it, and it was my first code, which was actually like a proper code. Like actually, it was doing something. So that really intrigued me, and I was like, this is something that I want to do. This is something that would help me follow my passion also in the space research, and also something that that would make me happier in life also. So that is when I decided to become a software engineer, and I googled up at what all things that can I do regarding following my passion into this thing only.
Interesting. I think we should rename this episode to Space Facts with Fun Interns at Intuit. And what about yourself? Is it just to do with space research, or you had more to do with
No,
getting
I had honestly, so when I was back in school, all of my friends were taking up medical. Like in Kashmir, back in Kashmir, my friends, all of them, there is this culture of predominantly taking up MBBS. I don't know, there's this crazy culture for MBBS. So I always had this thing in me, I have to do something what nobody else is doing. So for that, somehow there was a part of me that didn't want to do what everyone else is doing. And I knew I had to take up engineering. But my family was not really sure about it. So I ended up taking PCMB.
Right.
Yeah, but engineering was something where I was inclined to. I figured out that engineering is something that I want to do. And yeah, as I said, when I had to choose up the branch of engineering, I googled up what is the closest to space research, and computer science was something that predominantly showed up. I had no idea about coding. I had no idea what computer science is. In fact, I'm the first one from the entire line of family to have, taken up computer science engineering. So yeah.
Wow.
So I wrote my first line of code in second year. I had no idea about coding. Yeah.
That's great. It's amazing. So kind of segueing into the next piece, right? So how did you learn software development as a practice, and how did you get into coding and stuff like that?
So as I mentioned earlier, only that in 11th I
Yeah.
took PCM with computer science, and I remember that at that time we used to have that Turbo C++ by
Yeah.
Aki,
Yeah.
that blue colored background ID, and
Yeah.
we started coding in that only. It was initially about logically we have to think a lot of things. It was logical reasoning mainly, and then we have to frame the code from that. And like in 11th only, then slowly. Taking classes, I
Right.
gradually learned how to do it. But that memory of Turbo C++ by Aki is very predominant for me.
For me, I actually, in my first year only, I stumbled upon this course, Web Development by Angel I. It's very popular on Udemy. And that was a game changer or fate
Yeah.
changer since I'm here now. That course was something that really got me intrigued and kind of inclined towards it, because the fact that you could create something out of nothing was something that really amazed me. When I went through this course, it's really interesting and I could go through it. And the fact that I was able to access remotely available resources across the world and use it and create something out of an empty page that has the potential to serve users, that was something I felt like, oh, I can probably do some magic. And that was where I knew web development was my thing.
Gotcha. And can you again reiterate what the name of that course was, just
It
for
was
audience?
Web Development Bootcamp by Angela Yu. It's on Udemy. It's a
Awesome.
game changer. Yeah.
One thing I was curious about is how did you first of all learn about Intuit and first time hear about it even? Anyone wants to share?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shyamal, you can start.
It was like Intuit was one company which I heard about like in my college second year. When I was in second year, I heard about Intuit, and it was mainly through Mailchimp. I was reading about it on there was InShorts at that time,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So I got a pop up from InShort about Mailchimp getting acquired by Intuit, and that is when I started. Researching about it, because at that time our internship season was also on the line, and Intuit was a big company. Is a big company actually. So at that time I started. I got to know about Intuit and what it does and everything about it. And I also got to know about the amazing work culture. And I am genuinely saying that this is an amazing company.
Yes.
We didn't ask him to tell us.
It's not prepared at all.
For me, I got to know about Intuit through a senior getting into Intuit. I got to know that one of our seniors was placed in Intuit, and it felt like too distant to be true, and I felt like I can never get there, so there's no point me researching about it or something. But I remember once the senior got into it, and there was something with the placement cell going on, and they were talking about Intuit, and I googled it up and I looked across some videos or something, and I told myself, this is not happening, so why am I spending my time going there? So my resource predominantly was my college seniors, but it felt too distant to be true. But yeah, now that I'm here, Intuit is this is not a paid promotion at all. I think all of my friends who work at all other companies, when they talk about their work, I mentally, silently inside have to tell myself, oh God, I'm so lucky. I got into a good company. Yeah, it's a dream come true. It's a dream company. It's everything that I think anybody would want to work for.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All our friends are jealous, I guess. And also share about your experience about from college to Intuit. What was your A4A process like?
Intuit is the first company that came on campus. Basically, it was the first offline interview that we gave, and introduction is a very important part of an interview, because that is something that stays in an interviewer's mind, and that is something which I personally worked on, and I personally felt that it was something very necessary, because an interviewer takes a lot of interview, and then you have to be there in his mind.
What kind
Right.
of rounds did you have specifically for this?
We had two rounds. Both were technical only. In the first round, it was majorly DSA, nothing else. And second round was actually very difficult than the first one. They actually ask everything that and I understand why they ask us, because they ask things that are actually important for you to become an Intuit's employee.
Yeah.
Right. Can you shed a little light in terms of what type of questions were asked in terms of the domain that was majorly covered?
Yeah, so before interview, to get to the interviews, we had an online assessment test also. In the online assessment test, it was online. We were given 4 questions, and we had to, and the person who scores well and passes most test cases gets selected. And after that, it was also based on our resumes. There was a part where we were shortlisted on the basis of our resumes. They had some resume total scoring as well.
For me, this is quite of an interesting story. When Intuit was my first interview, actually. So there was this coding round that happened first, and I qualified it. And I remember getting a mail from Intuit for the first round of interview. And I was at my aunt's place, and I remember seeing this mail, and I thought to myself, "Are they crazy? Why are they inviting me for the interview? It's not happening." And I tend to overstress about things. And I remember the interview was scheduled the next day. I saw it, and it is scheduled the next day. And I remember telling myself not to get anxious, just delete the mail. They won't know. Why would they bother about it? I was that unsure of me getting into it.
Right.
So I remember a friend of mine actually motivated me. You have nothing to lose. Just sit in the interview. You don't get it. It's nothing to lose basically, right? You get through it, then you get the internship. And I remember when I went back home, there was this interview happening online. So I have this convertible laptop, and so it has a touch screen. Okay, so I am in the middle of the meeting, and my thumb is on the end meeting button, because the moment interview asks something that I don't know about, I don't want to be embarrassed. I just want to leave the meeting.
Ghosting the interviewer.
Yeah, it was like that. I was so sure that I wouldn't get into it.
Exit strategy was strong.
But luckily, I think the interviewer made me really comfortable.
Yeah.
So I think what happens during interviews is that they don't want you to throw up crammed up answers or responses to them. They want to know your level of understanding. And that is something that I really liked. I remember giving my interviewer analogies of an orange, a car, and she was really appreciative about it. And she told me, yeah, you really understand things. And that's what gave me the confidence. And I actually had 3 rounds. Unlike him, I had 3 rounds.
Right.
And my second round was a full grill round, as he said. I was grilled to the fullest. Because I'd mentioned in my resume that I did front-end development in most of the hackathons that I participated in. And every answer that I was giving had a follow-up question. So I was stuck in an infinite loop. And I was thinking to myself, where should I stop? Or will they stop or not? Then I remember telling them, I also have a little bit of back-end development experience, for them to just change it and ask me something else. So yeah. But predominantly they asked DSA, and it was the CS core subjects, object-oriented programming, and computer networks for me.
Interesting.
How do you think about your transition from college to Intuit, and what are the major differences on your day-to-day?
So for me, the major difference is discipline and responsibility.
Yeah.
When we are in college, we are not that disciplined, because even if you miss one class, you do not care about it that much, and you know that you can study at the end. You always pull a all-nighter. Even if you study during classes, you will have to pull an all-nighter before examinations. So that is something which earlier we were careless, and we were carefree also. And other thing about responsibility which I mentioned was that when we were missing a class, it was something we were responsible about ourselves. We were not nobody was dependent upon us. But now when I came to Intuit, I found that completely different, because if I stop doing my work, or if I delay my work, there will be different developers as well whose work would be dependent on me, and they'll miss out on their work.
Interesting.
Yeah, for me, the change from college to Intuit is like, I feel like I've grown up all of a suddenly. I'm not a kid anymore. In college, teachers would address you as kids or children or something. Now here, I'm a full-fledged adult, and our responsibilities are equal to that of the employees who've been there for 10 years. And the fact that you attend stand-ups here and you get to speak as an adult, you can't even say that, I woke up late, that's why I couldn't do it, or I forgot my homework at my house. It's no longer that. You can't give those reasons anymore. And the fact that you have to stay disciplined, like you don't have to stay up late, you have to wake up early, you have to eat right to be able to function properly here. That's one big change, I feel. Also, free food. From college to Intuit, the change is free food. Yeah.
And better food as
Better
well, right?
food, yeah,
Compared to
everything.
college canteens, yeah.
Yeah.
By far. 100x better. Awesome. Cool. I think we can go into the section where we want to know more about the kind of projects you are doing at Intuit currently in your teams. Would you like to address that? Like, which team are you working on? What product is it, or what platform is it?
So currently, I'm a part of Identity Group. I'm working in Aussie team. Basically, it is authorization team for Intuit, and we work on how to give access to people to roles and resources. So currently, I'm working on a self-serve application which will be used among Intuit developers only. It is to make their lives easier, and it is a full-stack project. I'm working on both front-end and back-end. So it is more like something which will help Intuit developers to take an approval from their manager within 24 hours. Earlier, we used to do it. They had to come to Aussie team, and then they had to give a certain list of tasks that we had to do, and then we used to do and revert back. But now it is basically we have bridged a connection between manager and employee directly using that application. So
Gotcha.
that is
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so my project here at Intuit mostly involves the back-end work. And when I was summer interning, I remember I had majorly worked with front-end development only during my college years. So when I come here for the summer intern, I get to know that my project is titled Back-end Beaconing. So it's not just back-end, it's the name of the project is also back-end. So I've been working on back-end here, and the team that I work with is VEP, it's Virtual Expert Platform. So in VEP, we tend to cater to the customer needs virtually. It's like an expert platform for the customers across Intuit products, wherever the customer is stuck, be it with their payments or invoices, billing, whatever. VEP is something that helps them with the search articles or the help bots or something. So every day here when I work, I do feel that I'm contributing to something that actually makes an impact. We do get to see the logs and see how many customers you've impacted, how many calls you had in a day and all of that. So yeah, good work going on here.
It's interesting because
Have you spent like a couple of years already here?
so how crucial or critical has mentorship been for you in terms of like working with the teams, working with a mentor? Like how has that shaped you in the software development space or as a person, and how has that been so far?
So for me, mentorship was one thing which I really needed because when you come to a real a company which actually serves a real environment, a real world,
Yeah.
You get that drastic change from your college life as well. Because in college, when you are creating a project, it is a small project. It is only for you to show to some interviewer or for you to use. But when you come here, basically the data multiplies enormously, and the number of consumers multiply enormously, and you have to ensure that everything is fully encrypted, no data is leaked and everything. So also we use a lot of things which are a lot of applications which are Intuit specific, right? We do not use any random application here. So that is something, for that we generally require mentorship, because they guide us throughout the Intuit's work culture and how things actually take place in Intuit. They tell us about what things we use to develop certain things, and what how you should maintain yourselves here, what people expect from you here, because it is individual specific as well as company specific. So for me, mentorship has been very important. It is something which has helped me connect to my seniors as well in a very good way, and something which I take away with me every time I go back to my place.
Awesome.
Yeah, so for me, I think I've been very lucky with the team that I'm a part of. When I joined into it, I had no idea about what I was working on and all of it. My entire team has been really patient with giving me the space to learn about things. And as I said, I tend to overstress. I really like in a stand-up, I tell my buddy or something, and I tell her, I'll get it done by tonight. And she's like, no, just take a few days, learn about it, and then get it done. There's no hurry or something. So I think for someone who's just transitioned out of a college to a corporate company, it's very important for the company to provide a space wherein they can learn and they can feel comfort and warmth initially to begin their work. And that is something Intuit is really, really good at. There's no pressure for you to just get it done no matter how. They do give you the space, the mentoring and learning and the comfort that you need to do your work. So,
Yeah, that's the buddy you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Like I love that concept.
yeah, we
At
have buddies
Intuit,
here.
yeah. So basically, you're assigned a person in your team, and then you can actually just brainstorm with them anything. It
Yeah.
could be personal, professional.
Yeah.
I remember when I interned at Intuit. Fun fact: I was an intern as well. I had this buddy, very fun, and one day we also hung out in his place. I played FIFA with him, stayed over, and all of that. So we had a great time. Like I think the buddy system really
Yeah.
works out.
Yeah.
Within work, outside of the work premises, and all of that.
Also, the rant sessions with the buddies are
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
every night you can rant as much as you want. You can tell what all you're angry about and what all is happening in your life.
Yes, absolutely.
My
And-
buddy has
yeah.
been my unpaid therapist here. Every time I get stressed about something, she's really taught me not to get stressed and just get it done slowly and not to worry. Also, she's been a co-op intern herself.
Oh, yeah?
So she has that experience. So
That's wonderful.
That's great.
And during this whole journey of internship so far, any interesting things, any challenges you folks faced that you'd like to talk about?
So there was one time where I felt like really I was under pressure, which was during my last day of summer internship. I had some work to do and I had to leave by 1. We had to deposit, we had to submit our laptops and all. So during that time, a lot of work was left. I came at 10 and I had to leave by 1, and a lot of work was left. So
Yeah.
that is why I started coding, and I realized that the code is getting more complex and complex. And it was that moment when I realized that this is something that I'll have to do for my PPO also, and otherwise it is all gone. So it was a very main character moment for me, that like 3 hours I was coding completely into the laptop. I was like completely
Yeah.
into it. And,
Yeah. Good pun.
and that was one moment which was really exciting for me.
Right.
My challenging moment was at the last day of my summer internship. So at the last day of my summer internship, I'm giving this presentation. I'm
Right.
talking about my project, and it's going all well. And I can see everybody smiling and giving me. My buddy was there giving me a smile, and I know it's going all well. And there was this architect who was in the meeting, and he even asked me that we would love to have you back. So I kind of got my answer that okay,
Right.
I'm getting a PPO probably. And then I stumble upon this slide wherein it's mentioned pet project, and I tell them that there is something in addition to the work that I was
Right.
assigned, and this is something that I did. And I'm explaining my pet project, and they're loving it, absolutely loving it. And then they ask me, we really want to see the code. How about you show the code and let us know how you did it? And I'll not let you know the secret what that is, but I went across and showed them the code.
Right.
And I had done something that I was not supposed to do, and that was a big potential bug. And then don't ask me, I had really challenging last 4-5 nights of my whole life here. And I remember attending every meeting after that, and every meeting started with, hey, I'm sorry. So that is what happened for good 3-4 days. But yeah, my team was really, really supportive because
Right.
they understood the intent behind it. I
Yeah.
did it for a good cause for the team itself, but there was something that I shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
So
It's like
that
the
was-
pet project.
Yeah.
Bit you somewhere.
my entire team knows me by pet project. Some days back, I was creating a pipeline, and
Yeah.
I told them, so what should I name it? They're like, pet project.
Yeah, it's too.
But bold of you to
Words,
actually
yeah.
accept that
Yeah.
and like come over it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like one of those intern moments that we,
Yeah.
famously speak on social media, right?
Yeah. But last days are the best. Is what we learned.
No, very stressful for me.
Yeah, and like you folks have spoken at length about your, love for space and space research, and you're also in tech right now. So what's the future looking like for you, both of you? Like any goals in mind? Like what do you think you want to become eventually down the line in a few years?
So for me, like when I came here, and recently we had that leadership program for our organization as well, for identity. So what when I saw leaders from all over the place coming, I realized that I also want to lead a project. Basically, I want to contribute to this company. I want to contribute to the world and give an idea of my own and work on an idea of my own, which actually solves a real problem statement and helps people in a good cause. So that is something which I am really looking forward to. I want to manage a complete project. I want to lead a complete project and lead from the front.
Right.
And just feel like this is something which I've built, and which is something which is like I built, I created it. So that is something which I'm really looking forward to.
It's like sitting in the NASA command center. You have the
Yeah, that shabashi.
For me, when I was back in college, we used to do these hackathons, and the max we could create was a product that could serve 10-20 users, right? But now here at Intuit, when I work with the team and I work across teams, like sometimes you have a project wherein you have to communicate across teams, I do see how complex all of it is and how intricately woven it is to make Intuit possible. So I wasn't planning on that I would ever want to be in the software domain for a longer time. But yeah, after coming to Intuit, I really think I'm loving it. I love the work that I do. So I'm planning to stay in software for a little longer than I earlier planned on to. Yeah.
Great, nice.
Amazing. So now comes the most important part, the fun segment for everyone. Okay, so we'll play a game. It is something which you all might have played earlier, is the two truth and one lie. So what we'll do is that we'll go one by one. And I hope that you are prepared for this one. So what we'll do is that you share two truths, one lie, and we'll try to guess like which one is the lie. Does that work?
But you have to keep a straight face, right?
No, you can
start
reveal.
with you.
Yeah.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay, just for everyone to get the reference. Okay, number one, I have a driving license. Number two is that I love dancing. Number three is that I love trying new hairstyles. So, Yeah, guess which
You
one.
kept
I know
a
the
straight
answer.
face
I
throughout.
know the
It's so
answer.
hard.
Oh, then you don't say.
I know the answer to this.
Yep.
You just kept a straight face throughout. It's very hard.
Yeah, throughout the episode as well.
We have practiced. We have practiced through the episodes. Like we had do not laugh challenges and all of that. So practiced. Although we
Yeah,
failed
but
at
answers,
it.
but answers.
Yeah.
I think hairstyle is too.
Can I see your ID? Can I see your ID?
What?
You want to
I
see
need to see the
difference
hairstyle
in
before it. So
hairstyles.
if there's a difference, then I know you're lying.
Okay. No, it's very same.
No, it's not the same.
I
Yeah, you're
think,
lying about.
dancing. Driving license could be a lie, but then it would be too much. So I think dancing was a lie.
Hmm.
I think hairstyles.
I don't like. I
You
said
don't-
I like trying new.
Yeah, I think you don't like trying new.
Okay.
Partha, whip out your driving license for us. Yeah, that's the lie for sure.
Driving license.
Driving license
You
is
do
the
not
lie.
have a driving license.
Yeah, I don't.
So if
you
you-
know how to drive. Or...
Yeah, I know, but I don't have the license.
If anyone
Much
sees
I-
Partha driving on the road, please report. Yeah,
Cool.
you go
Who wants
next.
to go next?
So for me, the very first is I actually stood up when I was told that we had to attend a stand-up meeting. I thought it was about standing up only. So the second one is that I once won a club fantasy football league, even when I didn't follow the club. And the third one is I recently went to a trip with complete strangers and actually enjoyed my journey.
Third one, did not enjoy.
I think the
Yeah,
second
third one is a lie.
Second one's a lie, maybe.
Yeah, the second one was a lie.
Oh.
wow.
The fantasy Premier League thing. So I've never won a fantasy Premier League, but I want to one day.
Yeah.
Okay. How do I keep a straight face?
You can smile through all three of them.
Okay. Yeah, better. When I was a kid, I faked being visually impaired, that I could not see or that I was blind,
For how
to
long?
get specs.
Oh,
And now I have a power and I suffer. Number two is, again, when I was a kid, I faked sleeping in a room after screwing up my uncle's TV, and the entire family got concerned, and the neighbors had to break through the window to get to me to see if I was alive. And number three is, I love pani puri. I can eat 20 in one go. I feel like I've done it. It's so hard for you to guess.
Give me 10 seconds.
Maybe the third one.
I think the second one, maybe.
I'll go with the first one. Someone of us has to win.
The third one is a lie. I can't stand pani
I
puri.
won all three.
Yeah,
It's like I'm secretly stalking these people.
Congratulations, you win nothing. Awesome, cool. That was the fun segment, and now we are here towards the end of the episode. How did you like it, Shyamal?
I enjoyed it very much. I went back to my college days as well, and I was able to rant through my session.
Same here.
Is that a truth or a lie?
Yeah, same. Did a little of time travel here, college,
Yeah.
childhood, and everything. Loved the session.
Amazing. And Ashwith, did you learn something?
I learned a lot. Every episode is a learning moment or multiple moments for me, and I'm pretty sure for you as well. I think we had a fantastic time having both of you here talking through your journey from college to Intuit and how it's been here so far.
Yeah.
And love to know that you guys are into space, because that's been something that I passionately
Oh.
love to, which I haven't mentioned
This
in episodes
session
so
should be
far.
named something else now.
Yeah, we should call it like the space cadets are into it or something. Partha can exit maybe. Unless he likes space too, I don't know.
Yeah, I wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here and giving your time, and hope you guys also liked it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, the same thing. But share it with your college friends. That's the most important. And you guys too.
Yeah, and thanks
Awesome.
for being with us through 10 episodes and to many more in the future. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you guys. See you.